Now, many people out there have had their Christmas trees up for weeks at this point, and a lot of people are leaving them behind to spend the holidays elsewhere. A reminder today that dry Christmas trees left inside or near homes can pose a serious fire risk. We want to talk more about that now, about fire safety and how to properly get rid of a tree with Pflugerville Fire Captain Trevor Stokes. Captain Stokes, welcome back to our show. We appreciate you being here.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is a busy week for sure, but what are some of the conditions that can cause a Christmas tree to be perhaps more at risk of catching on fire?
So first and foremost, if you have an actual live tree, so as opposed to an artificial, it needs to be watered daily. I think a lot of people don't think about that. They bring it in the house and they just decorate it and move on. And so definitely you want to water it, keep it moist. The lighting and electrical systems that you're putting on it, you want to be very careful of that. If you are leaving, go ahead and disconnect the power to those things so that they're not on while you're not there so you can monitor it. If it's an artificial tree, make sure it's been treated and it's fire resistant. And again, be cautious of the electrical systems that you're putting on there.
Yeah, for sure, to leave it unplugged whenever you leave out the house.
Most definitely.
Okay, and how quickly can a tree catch on fire if the conditions are just right?
So those types of trees, they have a high oil content, and if they're dry, they will burn very quickly. So quickly, in fact, that it would be almost impossible for someone with maybe a pitcher or some bucket of water to put it out inside of a home.
Okay, so we talked about unplugging the real tree or even your fake one whenever you leave the house, but what are some other things that people should do if they're leaving the house for the Christmas holiday?
Another thing you can do is have somebody stop by regularly, keeping an eye on the place. Electrical systems tend to be our biggest issue. Those are all the lighting systems. We hear a lot of times that the data says that a lot of the fires that we have are electrical in nature, but the reality is it's the interface of us humans with the electrical systems. Within ESD2, the number one cause of fire is cooking fires. And so that's another thing during the holidays. People are coming together. Never leave cooking unattended. Always be mindful of that. And then, of course, the number one thing is always have a smoke detector, a working smoke detector in your home. These are all things that you can do that layer safety. A lot of systems nowadays with those smoke alarm systems and smoke detectors can be tied into your security system, and you can get real-time alerts even from your mobile phone.
Yeah, there's amazing technology that can connect you with all that information too. But just in general, I mean, are you responding to very many incidents of mishaps with decorations or things like that, or is it mostly just cooking fires that are really taking up more time?
So within ESD2, the data proves time and time again it's cooking fires. And so unattended cooking is usually the cause. People are busy this time of year. They're multitasking. They may be packing and wrapping gifts while trying to cook because they have people coming over, adding to the stress. The biggest thing is do not leave anything unattended when you're cooking. If you're using a gas-powered propane or natural gas, also make sure you have a CO detector, a working CO detector. Those things need to be tested regularly. Batteries need to be replaced by the manufacturer's recommendations. Those are all things that we can do. And then just never leave the food while it's being cooked.
Always a good reminder for that too. What should people do to effectively get rid of their real Christmas tree? What are some of the things that they can turn to act as a resource? Well,
there's lots of information on pflugervillefire.org, so I direct them there. But also Travis County has spots throughout the county as soon as the holidays are over. Getting those things out, not leaving them inside and not watered or dumping them somewhere is also something that we want to make sure that people don't do. But the disposal process, those locations, you can go to the Travis County's website. They're located throughout the county, and we just want everyone to have a safe and happy holidays.
Absolutely. So I think that's the best place to leave the conversation now. But Captain Trevor Stokes, thank you again for joining us and for always sharing these good reminders for people at home.
Thank you.
All right.